Hello, welcome to our channel where we are dealing with mathematics lessons. So in this presentation, we continue dealing with trig, but specifically we are trying to see how to interpret the sides of a triangle as well as the angles of a triangle. But in this case, the triangle that we are dealing with, it is right angled, okay? Meaning that one of the angles should be 90 degrees. So supposing we have a right angle triangle, how do we get the sides of that triangle? As well as the angles. So with me here, I've got two examples, okay? So I'll try to explain at length as to how we can find the sides and the angles of this triangle, as well as this one, okay? So we are saying in the first question, we are saying in triangle PQR, alright? Find all the unknown sides and angles, meaning that here we only have one side. We need to find this side and this side. Then the angle here that is missing is this one. Okay? In the second question, we have to find the angle marked with the letter T. This one. We've been given this side and that side. Okay? So I'll try to exhaust all the ways of finding these things. Okay, so let me erase. So, for the first one, okay, so let's see how we can get this one. So here we have to find all the unknown sides and the angle. So maybe we can start with the angle here. Maybe we can start with this one. Okay. So when you look at that, you realize that we have got three angles here. 1, 2, 3. So we want to find this angle R. Okay? Now to find this angle R, you agree with me that angles in a triangle add up to 180. Meaning that to find this one, we are going to say angle R is equal to 180 degrees minus the sum of these two. Okay? That is 90 degrees plus 32 degrees. Okay? So angle R is equal to, so you can get your calculator and do direct here. Alright? Say 180 minus, open the bracket, 90 degrees plus 32 degrees. Okay, so we are going to get 58. So the answer here is 80 degrees. Direct. Okay? I hope that is okay. So we are saying this one is 80 degrees. So what we are remaining with now is we have the two sides that we need to get. Alright? We have the two sides that we need to get. Okay, so now, maybe we say, how do we get this one? But again, I must be quick to mention that we might try to find another way of getting this one, apart from maybe the direct method. Okay? So maybe we say, let's try to get this side. Okay? Well, first we can look at what we have here. We have an angle here. Of course, this one has also been found. Okay? So we have this one, that one. Then let's try to get this one. Of course, we have a hypotenuse here. So if my interest is to use 32 and I want to have this one, if this is your reference angle, which is 32, and you want to get QR, it means QR is opposite to this one. Alright? And what do we have? Hypotenuse. So I want where I have opposite and hypotenuse. So of the three trig ratios, the SOHCAHTOA, right? You must check for the opposite and the hypotenuse. And you realize that we'll use this, the sine. Okay? So we are going to say, if I have this angle, I'll say sine of this angle is equal to the opposite divided by what? The hypotenuse. Okay? Alright, so we can say sine, alright, of 32 degrees is equal to the opposite divided by what? Hypotenuse. Okay? So we are saying this is sine 32 degrees is equal to, what is the opposite? The opposite is the one that we want to find, which is QR, divided by, what is our hypotenuse? Our hypotenuse is 10 degrees. Okay? We have 10 degrees. So if you introduce a dummy one here, because 1 into that, you get that. So what are we going to have? We are going to have 1 by QR, you get your QR to be sine 32 degrees. You multiply that by, these are not degrees, but they are centimeters, okay? By 10 centimeters. What do you get? This one you can do it directly on your calculator. Okay? So, but again, you must know the calculator that you are using. With me, I'm using a Casio calculator. Alright? FX82 MS. Okay? So, what we are going to do here, you punch sine 32. But other calculators will demand that you start with the number, then the trig ratio. So, you need to know the calculator that we are using. So, I'll say sine 32, you multiply direct by 10. So, this is what I'm getting. About 5 point. So QR is equal to 5.292 centimeters. This is what we are going to get. Okay? But if you are giving that as your final answer, it is advisable that you round it off to 3 significant figures. Therefore, your QR is equal to 1, 2, 3. You chop off a line here and consider this number. Alright? We are starting from the left hand side. 1, 2, 3. If you are rounding off to 3 significant figures, then we take 9 to be 1. 1 plus 9, you get a 10, so you write 0, you take 1. 1 plus 2, we have 3. Point here, there is 5 centimeters. So this is what we have in terms of 3 significant figures. Okay, so here we have 5.3. If one can add a 0. Okay, so now what we are saying is, I have 5.3. Okay? Then you have the hypotenuse there. Are you able to get this? Okay. So you can choose whether you want to use this angle or that angle. Maybe you say, okay, let me use this angle here. Right? And I want to find the adjacent. If I want to find the PQ using 32, remember, if you go by our Sokatoa, maybe let me write this at the top here so that we stop the issue of erasing. So you have okay. So if you look at this, if this is your angle and you want to find QP, you realize that QP is an adjacent. So you go to where we have an adjacent. You have got this and that. So you need to make a decision as to which one you are going to use. Whether you are going to use the cos or tangent. Alright? Now, if you decide to use cos, then you are going to use the hypotenuse here. Alright? If you are going to use tan, alright, then you must use the opposite here, which you have found. But I would advise you that you go for this one which has already been given. Okay. So in this case, we are going to say remember we found this to be 53, 58, alright? And this we got it to be 5.3. Okay, you can even say 0 here. Okay, we can try to get PQ. So if I'm using if I want to get PQ with regard to this angle, I say it's an adjacent. Alright, then using the hypotenuse, so we'll go for a cos. So I'm going to say the cos, alright, of this angle, cos of 32 is equal to adjacent, which is what? Let me write the formula: adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay? So here we say cos of 32 degrees is equal to, what is our adjacent? It's the one we want to find, PQ. Okay? Divided by our hypotenuse is what? 10. If you introduce a diamond one here, so when you multiply here, you've got PQ. So PQ is cos 32 degrees multiplied by 10 centimeters. Okay? So what is our PQ? So here you can just work it out on your calculator. Okay? So we are going to say, you make sure your calculator is in degrees mode. So you say cos 32 multiplied by 10. And what do we get? 8. So we get 8.480480 962. Alright? So if you round it off to 3 significant figures, we have PQ okay, so you have PQ as, so I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, you chop off a line here, then you consider this number as 0. 0 plus 8, you have got 8. So you have got 8.48 centimeters. This is what we have found. So you have got 8.48. Okay. Now, you need to learn one thing here. So here you have 5.3, here you have 8.48, and there you have 10. What does it mean? When you are dealing with a right angle triangle here, the hypotenuse is always the longest side. Okay? If you have found something else, then just know that there is an error in the way of calculating. Because the hypotenuse will always be the longest side. Okay? Now, supposing that we had all these sides here, okay? And we didn't know this angle here. How can we get it, the same 58? Alright? So we can say, for me to find this one, if this is my reference angle, alright, I can choose what to use here because I have got all the 3 sides. Alright? You can choose what to use here. Maybe you can use the tan, the one that you have not used. So if you are dealing with the tan of this angle, I'm going to say tan is opposite over adjacent. Alright? Now you need to take note that these values have been rounded off. So if you get a slight difference in the value of the angle, you don't have to be worried because we have rounded off these values. Okay, so we are saying suppose we wanted to get this angle R, okay? Given all these. Alright? So the first question has been answered. The side here is 5.30. This side is 8.48 and the angle is 58 degrees. So we have exhausted that question. Now we are trying to look at other aspects, okay, of the question, okay, or other ways of asking the question. So we would ask you to get this angle given all the 3 sides, for example. Alright? So what we are saying that if you have all the 3 sides, then you are able to choose the trig ratio that you are going to use. Okay? Now we are saying, suppose we are dealing with 58. Okay? Okay? How do we get it minus using the first method where we say 180 minus the sum of these two? Okay, we can say, okay, maybe let me go for a tan. Okay? So you're going to say tan of this angle that we don't know, the 58 which we want to find, of QRP. Alright? How do you define this? Tan is opposite over what? Adjacent. Okay? Then you're going to say tan QRP is equal to what is the opposite? So if you're dealing with this, if this is your interest, your opposite will be what? This one, which is 8.48 divided by what is your adjacent? Your adjacent is this one, 5.30. Okay. So now, how do you get this angle now? If we have got tan here, we are saying tan QRP is that. How do I get the angle, the required angle? Alright? Here you introduce an inverse. Of course, if you want, you are saying if you want to divide, for example, by tan, alright? We say tan, you divide by tan. Here, it's like you're dividing everything by tan. So when you say this tan and that tan will cancel, you have got QRP. Alright? Now, here what you have here it's like you have got this divided by that. Now, this is the same as saying 1 over tan. Alright? Multiplied by 8.48 divided by 5.3. Alright? But 1 over tan is an inverse. So we can say tan tan inverse of what? Of 8.48 divided by 5.3. That is how you are going to get that. Alright? That's how you are going to get that. So, automatically here, you just need to introduce this. Okay? So we are saying automatically here, for angle QRP, you are going to say tan inverse of 8.48. You divide this by 5.3. Okay? You divide that. Alright? So now what you are going to do, you are going to say, how do you come up with this inverse? Alright? You are going to say, I'm trying to show you. Yeah. You are going to say shift. So you punch shift first or second function on your calculator. Alright? So punch shift or second function, then you bring tan. So you see that is coming. Alright? Tan. Some calculators will require that to introduce brackets. So you can say open bracket 8.48. You divide it by 5.3. You close. Alright? Then you say equals. This is what you are going to get. Alright? So what you are going to get here is the answer here shall be 57.9946179. Okay? And again, we are told that when you are dealing with the degrees, you round off to one decimal place. So after a decimal point, you count one digit. You say, okay, here after a point 1. Then you drop your line here and consider this one as 1. 1 plus 9 get 10. So You write 0, you carry 1. 1 plus 7, you have 8. And here you get what? 5. So you get this angle, which is what we got here. Okay? Which is 80 degrees. Okay? Which is 80 degrees. So it means we have exhausted all those. But again, if you have two sides, like the one we had here, 5.3. 5.3, if you had 5.3 and this one, we can use Pythagoras theorem to get this one. I think in the next lesson we'll be dealing with those things. Okay? So we can deal with the second one. Okay, so here we want to get angle T, but again we'll try to find maybe all the sides. Okay, so if you are dealing with T, right? This is the opposite. The opposite has not been given. What have we been given? The adjacent and the hypotenuse here. So for you to find this angle, you can choose where you have adjacent and the hypotenuse. So in this case, you can use the cos. So I'm saying cos T is equal to, there we're saying adjacent of hypotenuse. What is our adjacent? 4. Alright? And what is our hypotenuse? 6. Okay. So like we did when we were dealing with the tangent, we are saying, so for us to find this angle, so T shall be cos inverse of 4 divided by what? 6. Okay? Again, this one you use your calculator. Here you are saying the first thing that you need is to punch shift or second function on the calculator. Then you say cos. Other calculators will demand that start with the cos, then you go to second function or shift. So you need to know the calculator you are using. Then you are going to say open bracket. Alright? Open bracket. Then you have 4. Okay, I hope it's clear. Okay, so you have 4 divided by 6. You close. What are we getting? Here we are saying T is equal to 48. Alright? 48.1896851 degrees. Alright, so you round off this to one decimal place. So I'm going to say 48 point, here drop a line and consider 8 as what? 1. 1 plus 1, 2. So you have got 48.2 degrees. This is the angle there. Alright? That is the angle. Okay, so now if you want to find, we are saying we know this angle T. Suppose this angle is x. Alright? How can you get it? Okay. Okay? So, alright, so for that one, if you want to find x, you can just say 180 minus 90 degrees plus 48.2, then you get x. Okay, so that's where we end for this presentation. I can give you an exercise. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed my presentation. Please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. Thank you so much.